Time we finished the program yesterday with my daughter's Bharatanatyam. It was a nice end to that function. 1 hour. I think everyone was filled with subtle vibrations by the time the program was finished. So, yeah, in the past, we used to have the traditions where we used to always have at least one cultural program, even in normal marriages and Upanayanam, thread ceremony and all. But somehow the tradition is gone. So yesterday, you can say that the tradition was revived. So it was good. So whatever we learn, we the materialistic learning that we have actually works on the left side of the brain. The music, dance, and other things works on strengthening the right side of the brain. And spirituality comes in to balance both sides of the brain. So all the three are necessary. Okay. So all your IT, accounting, whatever you do, mechanical, doctor, everything is on the left side of the brain. Music and art, art form, any form of art is on the right side of the brain. And spirituality balances both. Okay, so if somebody were to ask, which of these three should I do in life, you should say all the three. That's why to confuse you in exams, they'll give many questions with the options, all of the above. So many Abhyasis choose the option all of the above. Why to leave this that let everything will be there. Deliberately, they would have given you to confuse you. One option has all of the above. So, anyway, let's continue now. Doing the cleaning. The cleaning method is a valuable tool with many practical applications. It helps us go beyond our personal limits and prevents us from getting tripped up in life's overwhelming complexities. There are so many occasions when the cleaning has saved me from making big mistakes in life. Just a few minutes of cleaning allows for so much clarity and wisdom to dawn. Online ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. So, practical applications ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. It helps you to go beyond personal limit and prevents you from getting trapped in life's complexities. It gives you clarity and wisdom. I think that the cleaning method is possibly the most important of all the heartfulness practices, said Daji. Chatterjee used to say that meditating without cleaning is like having a fancy car that's stuck in the mud. A supercar won't do you much good without a decent road. Similarly, no matter how much you meditate, you won't get very far without cleaning because the beautiful inner state that you create will remain covered by so many layers of impurities. Nevertheless, we should never think ourselves to be impure or unclean. With the cleaning method, we move towards purity without even thinking ourselves to be impure. Underline that. So you don't need to think that you are impure in order to become pure. And that's very important because the moment you start thinking that you are impure, you are actually strengthening the wrong thought. So in cleaning method, we just give the suggestion that we are having complexities and impurities that are going out the system. We never think of ourselves as impure. And that's a very subtle point. In the cleaning method, we move towards purity without even thinking ourselves to be impure. We move towards simplicity without even thinking of ourselves to be complex. Beneath our samskaras, we are already pure and simple. Impurities never touch the soul. You see, underline marker. Impurities never touches the soul. It only obscures it and prevents its divine rays from illuminating our consciousness. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ. Gopal Krishna was yawning. He was obscuring his yawning by holding his hand in front of his mouth. Very similarly, the samskaras obscure the flow of the divine rays from the soul to the consciousness. It only obscures it and prevents its divine rays from illuminating our consciousness. When that is the case, our awareness diminishes, we become less cognizant. We only have to remove the impurities and complexities, and our state of natural purity and simplicity begins to emerge. So, should we do the cleaning as a matter of routine? Correct, said Daji. Do it in the same spirit that you take a bath or shower as a habit of good hygiene. To bathe or brush your teeth is a matter of outer hygiene. The cleaning is our inner hygiene. It makes your consciousness crystal clear. Online ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. But that is not our goal. Please also remember, making our consciousness crystal clear is not our goal. And people are happy about it. Right? See, after taking bath, you do wear a cloth, no? Are you going to stay like that only? No. We are going to wear some set of clothes. Likewise, after making the consciousness crystal clear, we wear the clothing of condition. We will wear a condition. When you say impurities, you mean samskaras, right? I asked, said Daji. But this is all within the realm of theory and philosophy. When we actually do the cleaning, you feel light afterwards. You feel so fresh. It's a tangible feeling, underline that. You feel so light and you feel fresh. That feeling motivates you, regardless of whether you are convinced about the theory of samskaras or not. I think that the feeling of lightness is the reason most people use this method. They feel the difference in themselves when they appreciate, which they appreciate. Over time, we also find changes in ourselves. Many habits and tendencies simply drop off, underline that. Sometimes you don't even notice that they're gone. Then somebody says, "What happened to you, man? You used to be irritated all the time." Oh, really? You say. You don't even remember it. Normally, we perform the cleaning for about 15 to 30 minutes in the evening. However, there are times when we shouldn't wait till the end of the day. Perhaps you get in an argument and you see something that leaves you shaken. In such cases, sit down and clean immediately, even if it's just for 2 to 3 minutes. See, if you spilled ketchup all over your shirt at lunchtime, would you wait till the evening to clean it up or change your clothes? You wouldn't. It's the very same thing. Don't carry around that stain on your consciousness all day. You know, there are people, once they fall the ketchup, especially children, you know what they do? Just take it like this and then why waste the ketchup? That is not supposed to be done for the samskaras. Okay, let me take this samskara here and then. ಭರತ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ he is the youngest of the lot. It's the same thing. Don't carry around the stain on your consciousness all day. Don't carry that heavy burden unnecessarily. Take care of it immediately. If something extreme happens and you feel very disturbed, contact a heartfulness trainer and request a sitting. They will meditate along with you, aiding you with yogic transmission. When we take a sitting with a trainer, they perform cleaning on us when we meditate. The cleaning that we receive from a trainer is deeper cleaning than we achieve during our daily individual practice. When receiving a sitting, we simply meditate and let the trainer do their own work. We do not use the cleaning method at that time because the trainer is already doing it on our behalf. Now, this is important. When you go for a sitting, you continuously do the meditation that you normally do. So the Abhyasik's role does not change. Whether they go to satsang, whether they go to individual sitting, whether they actually sit in the house and meditate, whether they actually go to Bandara, everywhere you go, you do only one thing, which is to do meditation. Rest everything is different for them based on what work is done on them. What Abhyasi does is only meditation. Only in the evening, when the Abhyasi does the cleaning, then at that time they do something different from meditation. So Abhyasi, most of the places where they go, they only do meditation. like they do at home. But when we use the cleaning method on our own, we avoid meditating at that time. We just do the cleaning as per the method. So avoid meditating. Many people have this wrong habit of starting the cleaning and within 5 minutes they go into meditation. And that's of no use. How can we be sure that that we are cleaning rather than meditating? In meditation, you can just let yourself relax deeply and into it. Relax deeper and deeper into it. But cleaning is a more active process. In cleaning, we use our will to throw everything out. So when we sit for cleaning, we must remain alert. Alert is there for both. You remember three A's for meditation, and that is now talking about being alert. Being alert to make sure that you don't drop into meditation when you start cleaning. So that change should not occur. Many people do the transition without knowing. They lose that alertness. They start with cleaning, within 5-10 minutes, they go into meditation. So that's why we say that when you start the cleaning process, start with a sankalpa, end the cleaning process with a sankalpa. And many people, they write about the cleaning process, they forget to write about these 2 points, about the start of the cleaning process with the sankalpa and the end of the cleaning process with the sankalpa, with the firm conviction that the cleaning has been completed. That sankalpa has to be made at the end of it. Okay, that's a very commonly done mistake in the exams, not writing about the sankalpas. Okay, so in some words, cleaning is a more active process, meditation is more like a passive process. In meditation also, we don't use our willpower per se. Here, we use the willpower. In meditation, again, we make the sankalpa that we are now into meditation, but we don't say separately. That sankalpa is made with the suggestion that we give at the start of the meditation, but it's not direct. But in cleaning, you actually make a direct sankalpa, both at the start and the end of the cleaning process. But the best thing is to avoid creating impressions in the first place, said Daji with a laugh. Certain situations are bound to create samskaras, an argument. For example, before the argument starts, you already know what's going to happen. You know that you won't like what the other people says. Then what? When that's why you need to be aware. Before the difficult conversation even begins, inoculate yourself with compassion and understanding towards the other person. But you also have to understand yourself. You know how you are likely to react. So put a check on yourself at that time. So you have to vaccinate or inoculate yourself against an argument. So, and you should know when to withdraw from the argument. And that's very important. Generally, we tend to get stuck in the argument. So if you know when to withdraw from the argument, you are relatively protected. You don't form deeper samskaras, which will require intense cleaning. Okay. Normally, we think that cleaning is curative in nature. Yet, you use it to clean yourself and normalize your inner state. But cleaning is also preventative. In fact, it is the preventative aspect that actually helps us a lot. It prevents us from getting into problems. It prevents us from creating new samskaras. Thereby, it prevents us from going back to the past habits or routines. It prevents us from developing illnesses. So, a lot of benefits are there as a preventive thing. Yeah. Once in the 80s, I was working in my first pharmacy in New York. At that time, there was an intern working with us who was a newly married man. He had recently started meditation too. One of his duties was to deliver medicines to nursing homes and hospitals, where he would meet the nurses who would then distribute the medications to patients. One day he came back with a red face. Kamlesh, I'm in big trouble. He said, what happened? I asked. This nurse is after me. She's gorgeous. She's so beautiful. My heart is pumping. But I'm married. I should not even be thinking about it, but I want to meet her. See, she has given me the key to her apartment. I'm supposed to see her tonight. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Too many things were going on at that time, you see. But then I had an idea. Let's write to Chariji. He said, by the time I write the letter and it comes back, it will be too late. She is expecting me tonight. At that time, the fax machine was a new thing. So I told him, okay, write a letter, we'll fax it to him. It was daytime in New York, so in India, where Charji was at that time, it was middle of the night. However, he would sleep with the fax machine right next to the bed. So when this intern wrote the letter, please help me, I'm not able to resist this. Almost instantly, the reply came back. Sit down and do the cleaning for 5 minutes, then refer to your heart. So I said, go to the office and do this, do it there. So he went finishing his cleaning and came back and said, Kamlesh, I should not have written this letter. I asked why not. He said, now the desire is gone and I will have to miss the opportunity. So Bharatu Gopal Krishna agidre, they would have written the letter after. You see, when we clean, desire gets weakened and clarity dawns. So again, underline that desire gets weakened, clarity dawns. If he had met that young lady, he would have likely have formed strong impressions and ended up feeling guilty. So cleaning is also preventative. Now, suppose you've had a stressful day at work. By the time you arrive at home, you're already in a reactive state. Maybe your wife also had a tough day, so she is also reactive. What do you think is going to happen when you interact? Fireworks. I think many houses, fireworks. Without leaving the fire only, there'll be fireworks. Right? So the best thing to do is clean that baggage away, the first thing. Do it as soon as you reach home, and your intentions will be more peaceful and more loving. So you remember in the olden days when people used to come from outside, no? They used to be given one bucket of water to wash their hands, legs, and the face before they actually enter the house. That was a traditional way of actually changing the nature of your mind before you enter the house. You remember that you're not supposed to drink water after meditation because it's going to change your subtle conditions, no? But in the evening, when you actually come home after being given the water to clean yourself, you are also given one glass of water the moment you enter the house. Have you seen the tradition? The first thing that people used to ask for anybody coming home, anybody, any neighbor who comes and visits your home, the first thing that they offer is a glass of water. And you know why the glass of water is given? To change the state of the mind of the person. So remember that you can actually offer anybody who comes home a glass of water because the stress of the travel would have changed their state of mind. So when you give a glass of water, that changes their state immediately. And that's our natural tradition. We never knew about all these things. But if you now correlate with what we do at the end of meditation, not give a glass of water. Here, you have to give a glass of water. Anybody who comes with a changed state of mind, the first thing that you offer is give a glass of water, not sugar water, just normal water. If you give sugar water, if the sugar is already shooting up, you give sugar water, it further shoots up. The firework become even more intense then. Okay. So remember, if you're already irritated, if you take sugar water, you'll actually have a zabardast fight, uncontrollable fight. So no sugar water, just normal water. You know what happens? Even if the sugars are high, if you give normal water, the sugars will now dilute in the blood because the water will start getting absorbed from the mouth itself. So one of the commonest reasons that people don't know why they actually get up in getting angry and argue is because of the sugars that is shooting them with the blood. It's a very common phenomenon. Very few people recognize it. When the sugar raises up in the blood, the brain becomes irritated with too much of sugar to handle. So the nerves start firing randomly. When the nerve starts firing randomly, that's what you actually look at outside as an irritability. Oh, this person is irritable because the nerves are firing randomly. Okay. So no sugar water, no immediate coffee or tea, first glass of water. After about 5-10 minutes, then you can give the coffee or tea, whatever else you want to give. Okay. So in traditional families, after they take bath and come out, they actually wear a white banyan and a white dhoti. Just like having a glass of water, plain clothes. After that, you wear other colored clothes on the top, right? So likewise. So anybody who comes to your house, first thing you do is just offer a glass of water. And there are a lot of people who refuse to take a glass of water because they don't know the implications of that. But I think it's a very good thing, at least to have at least half a glass of water. It changes the state of the mind. It makes you feel more settled, at ease. So that even if you have come for a fight, by having the glass of water, that intention to fight actually weakens. Okay. So that's why when we fast, no, generally we advise people to take water. When they don't, when they are not allowed solid food, they are allowed to take liquids, especially water. But now people want not plain water, other things. Gopal Krishna is now looking around to get something from inside. He moved back in the chair. See, water. So he was sitting in the front. Now, within a matter of 1 or 2 seconds, he moved back. I could feel him moving back. It's like rocket going behind. Anyway, water actually plays a very, very important role in our life. The reason why we actually end up, water has memory. Now, if somebody wants to study this topic more, there are a lot of YouTube videos, research done about water memory. Okay, so the water, and 70% of our body is water only. So if water is 70% of our body and the entire system, and water has memory, just imagine what happens. Every time we think negatively, the water changes its structure. Every time we think positively, the water immediately reacts and changes the structure. Okay, so they did this experiment. They uttered the prayers of Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and all. Irrespective of the religion that the prayer will belong to, the prayer actually created the same structure, water structure, and that was very interesting. That irrespective of the prayer that from the religion that you have taken, I don't know whether they have actually done the experiment with our prayer in our system. But I think it might be worth trying if somebody has not done it to try what is the structure that is formed after uttering our prayer, after uttering our suggestion at the start of the meditation. I think that will be a good experiment to do. And then compare that with the structure that is formed when the religious prayer is offered. Do they offer the form the same water structure or do the water molecules take on a different structure? So just go to YouTube and tomorrow before you come back, just look at 1 or 2 videos on water memory. And then you will understand the implications of that for our sadhana also. Okay. So the best thing to do is to clean that baggage away first thing. Do it as soon as you reach home and your interactions will be more peaceful and more loving. You know, these children's toys, the tops, when the top spins on its axis, it's not easy to knock it over. You can only knock it down when it's already unbalanced, when it's already wobbling on its axis. Most often, this is our condition when we come home in the evening. We're already wobbling on our axis. So before we have a chance to react, we stabilize ourselves by doing the cleaning. Otherwise, it's like returning home sweaty from the gym and immediately hugging your family. No matter how much they love you, they would definitely prefer you to take a shower first. After you do your cleaning, you are fit to interact with others, both for your own sake and theirs. You see, we have to be careful with others. My actions and attitude should not create impressions in other people. Underline that. My actions and attitude should not create impressions in other people. This is especially true if you don't have a method, if they don't have a method to remove their samskaras. We have a method to clean ourselves. We can, if we create a samskara, we can remove it. This isn't true for others. If they form an impression, they don't have an easy way to removing it. We can even help others simply by doing our own cleaning. Many of our samskaras are collective samskaras. Please underline. Many of our samskaras are collective samskaras. For instance, family members often display common tendencies and traits. These are the results of shared samskaras. Now, by cleaning that particular samskara from yourself, you weaken it in others also. Removing your own part of the collective samskaras is like removing the bottom layer of the mountain. Eventually, the entire formation will crumble and collapse. Now, this comes with a pinch of salt, provided you are the bottom layer of the mountain. Just read that sentence. Removing your own part of the collective samskara is like removing the bottom layer of the mountain. Now, if you are the bottom layer of the mountain, then your cleaning is actually as effective as removing the bottom layer of the mountain. If you are not the bottom layer of the mountain, if you are at the top of the layer of the mountain, then that's not of much use, right? So just remember. So when we clean ourselves, we also clean others indirectly. Yes, said Daji. Now just imagine if millions of people do deep cleaning, you would start to improve, witness a very rapid change in the world. So very simple thing is people should go on cleaning themselves. Then you will see rapid change. See, I'll just give you a very simple medical example. People after they come used to come from the latrine or restroom, they after passing the toilet, they were not in the habit of washing their hands. So this just simple method of washing their hands after coming and throwing out the waste, that has created a big change in terms of the number of diseases that we can actually pass around. So it's something very similar here. So when we clean ourselves, we also indirectly help others be clean. When we wash our hands, we also help indirectly in others staying healthy safely. We don't pass around the bugs. In fact, that was one of the things that we used to do. You remember during COVID times, we used to sanitize our hands. So anyway, so we'll stop here. The cleaning process anyway